welcome back to VCT Americas, where I'll be honest, at the half, I was ready to call this one done in favor of Crew, but EG makes some magic happen on the back half to take a 13-11 victory. How did they do it?
Let's go. How
did they do it?
I have no idea. They just bust out all the magic tricks. I have no idea how they did it.
What on earth did we just witness?
Crazy.
They look significantly better on their attack, though. Their approaches to these sides is night and day. Some of those B hits, the one at 10-11 sticks with me. Calm sends Wingman into plant Gen on the safe side. I thought for sure they were going to lose the spike because it was going to get killed on the way to plant. That isn't what happened because of the plant location. The round where they flip the A site on its head and take the back site. There were just so many good plays from EG on this attack half that have been missing for so long. It's a totally revitalized team.
Yeah, I mean, seeing Jagama on that harbor, like, he was just throwing a cove down and just going in and spamming. Like, he was holding mouse one. He was not, like, having any of it. And I think, like, the whole time we were thinking, man, this is like post-plant simulator. Yeah. It really was for a while there. Like that attack side, it's really interesting to see how like EG's like, you know, their defense side was better before, and now their attack side is better before.
Yeah, I mean, and speaking to kind of the fact that it ended up in a lot of post-plant situations is the fact that they were getting wrecked in first kills. Still they get the map win.
Yeah, I thought Kesnet did his job on this jet roll, forcing the issue, getting a lot of these first bloods for the team. But it was the late rounds where EG thrived, right? One round in particular, I remember that round where they were running through A main, and it was Davies that took that hiding spot around the corner. They're all just jumping around, and they clear the corner. All of their late round decisions in this second half were phenomenal, and it's something that has just been totally absent from EG's gameplay in the past.
Yeah, we're watching Kesnet highlights only to showcase what it was that EG had to overcome, because this guy was continuing to make plays as an individual. But it was a team effort on the other side, and so often ending in the post-plant situation. But Jagama was at least leading the charge, and on the harbor of all things, we called him out as the player to watch right before the series itself, and I'd say he lived up to it and then some in this map.
Yeah, for sure. Like I was saying earlier, like the multi-frags on harbor, to say the least, is actually insane. It looked like he was having a real fun time with it. I mean, the way that he used his util was just so fun. A lot of the time you see harbors just throwing their wall for their team and calling it a day, but he was even using them for himself, to set himself up for plays and allow like their initiators to send flashes or whatever they needed through the smokes, and it was just like amazing. And he ended up being like just insane. I mean, look at these stats, 240 ACS when they were down so far.
Yeah, he had a huge game on the harbor of all agents, but I think he's able to do this on harbor because of the fact that he's an Astra instead of a Viper, right? If this harbor falls, we have a main controller still alive in an Astra, whereas if you have a harbor Viper, if you lose the harbor, you're kind of screwed, right? So I think it allows him to play a little bit more free, and I thought Bustio did great on the Astra as well. That last round using the Nova Pulse and the Gravwell to get that clutch.
Yeah.
I mean, they both did great on the controller rolls.
This is just also cool to me because we go all the way back to Agent Select, where we noticed there was no Jet or any duelist locked in for EG, right? You know, even forgetting the point about Demon 1 being a solid Jet, just the idea that they chose not to go with the duelist. So, Jagama, it's up to you on the harbor to become our duelist.
Yeah, and we didn't even get to talk about Calm. All the value he got in his ult, Thrash. Every time Calm had an ult, he's at twice around. I mean, that is so much value. Yeah, he'd just loop it around and go pick it back
they'd use it to clear A main, right?
Yeah,
just and secure the orb, and then wait another 20 seconds, boom, now we have it to enter site as well.
Exactly. He mastered the kit, I felt like, that game. He did a great job.
Not only that, the Thrash, right, or Wingman rather, was a big reason why we end up in a lot of those post-plant situations, and it did feel like in so many cases it was smoke spamming you know, to victory for either team, to be honest. But in a lot of cases, EG after getting that plant down.
Yeah, I mean, this round was just ridiculous. It's literally like 3v3 just spamming through this smoke, as you can see here. And it was just really, really funny to watch, but also kind of the name of the whole map. Like, it felt like all these rounds were so scrappy, and kills through walls and kills through smokes, and just really utilizing that controller, double controller util to just spam your way to victory. And that's really what it felt like.
That replay there is my submission to the dev team for the new agent that we've been theory crafting. Sean has affectionately dubbed him Eraser Man. Working title, maybe we could find a little bit better, but it at least speaks to what we want to see. Like, somebody, we need something to clear smokes, man. We got to clear.
Erase them off.
create a little window or so. I don't know. We got to find a way to get through all these smokes because EG is using them to perfection. And I love to see them win a map in the way that we talked about this team maybe having an edge on others, right? Which is their creativity. It comes all the way back to Potter leading the charge for the team strategically, willing to kind of push the limits. Look at those newer agents and put them into play maybe before other teams would be willing to do just that.
And stick with it, even though they got kind of sucker punched last week when they ran this comp and didn't succeed, right? They stuck with it. And even after a terrible first half, having a substitute, having the resilience to bounce back in this game and steal your own map pick and keep this a series. Keep this a series. They're up 1-0. They can win this.
They can do this now. Exactly.
That's insane. But on the other side of these crew, can they bounce back from this?
Here's the thing I will say. I do believe they can, and a lot of that comes from what we saw from them in weeks 1 and week 2, right? I'll go back to that idea of losing on Ascent, picking it the next week, winning it. Guess where we're going next? Sure. Ascent, right? So if anything, I think they should rely on that and maybe their confidence specifically on that map pick. Know that they had this one close, and I think in their brains, they're probably thinking this was a little bit of a throw, a couple rounds on that back half that they probably could have cobbled together and let slip through their fingers. And with that in mind, I think they should feel a lot more confident moving forward. I want to know, though, how Demon 1 is feeling, right? And we'll check in with him in our Aim Lab shoot-around because it was his first game out on the stage, right? Gets the dub in a pressure situation, and damn,
oh my God.
I'm going to lose his vision in a couple of years sitting that close to the monitor. I tell you that much. My goodness, he's taking this very seriously. Let's go, baby. Okay, what's the percentage? We can't see it right now. Over, under 90% at the end of this.
Over.
Over? 89. Come on, Demon 1.
You got
Let's go. Get the over, baby.
I think we stress him out.
We still got, I know, right? Can they hear us in there? He's not wearing his headphones. They probably can.
No.
Look at him, God, dude. I can't think this fast, let alone move this fast.
Red balls disappear fast. That's what my brain's saying right now.
That's how, yeah, right? You kind of get stun-locked watching stuff like this. I'm like, we're supposed to be providing narrative and analysis and all that.
This guy's played Killjoy last night. What's going on?
Right, oh, yeah, and again, Maze, still, I need that to make sense to me at some point, is like, this guy on KJ of all things? We talked off camera just briefly about, what was it? It was like round 22, 23, where Kesnet was trying to flank through mid. And it looked like it was going to be awful timing for EG. Ends up being a 1-for-1 trade because Demon 1 has the mechanics to turn, check, and get the flick.
That awareness.
Yeah.
That was insane.
And those mechanics to boot. All right, map number 2. Map number 2, let's consider that crew has properly reset themselves. Let's talk about what they do well on Ascent. Let's talk about what it is that EG is going to have to overcome if they want to end it in a 2-0 fashion.
Yeah, I mean, crew coming into it, I feel like they need to keep that confidence up. Their firepower needs to stay up. Demon 1 is going to be showing us jets. Now, this is a jet that we've been hearing about. We haven't been seeing about. That does not make any sense. But Kesnet here with his jet, I mean, I know earlier we were talking about how we're going to see a jet versus jet kind of duel, and I think this is the map that we're going to see it on. I think bringing out those ops is going to be super important for both these teams, and Kesnet honestly just showed us that he can do it. And so now it's time for Demon 1 to show us that he can do it.
I think I'm looking at Melzer. I think he always has like pop-off games when I watch him play Ascent in the controller role. I think he's the one to look at. Jagama playing this Omen is also another big one to look at. Ethan played really well at lock-in on that KO. I think he roams the map really well, gets info extremely well. But like you said, it's gonna be down to the jets. I mean, this is Ascent. There's gonna be ops floating around. There's no Viper walls. There's no crazy comps we're seeing here. So it's gonna be the basics. And when we watched EG at lock-in, what I saw them do really well were these very poppy executes. Like, they have this B rush that they did that's really, really fast, where they're KO flashing through the window. These are the type of strats that I typically see out of EG, these pocket strats that are very explosive, but potentially readable for crew. If crew has done their homework, I think they shut this down and they kind of end this map pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, that first map was super, super scrappy, and like you said, there are no walls to be shooting through. There isn't an abundance of smoke to be shooting through. So I think going into this, each team is gonna have to be a lot more strategic, a lot more structured, and I think in that aspect, crew might have the advantage.
I would agree with that. As Sean Garris has said, Ascent is all about the fundamentals. It is classic VALORANT here, and we have identical compositions questions as we dive in for map number 2. It's Evil Geniuses with a lead, 1-0 currently. We'll see if Crew can even it up on their choice and send us to a third map as we head over to Van Silly and Riv.
Thank you, Dash. Indeed, this is going to be a very fun match here on Ascent. Of course, I agree with Sean because I don't think we think about Kesnet too much on this map.
Yep.
He hasn't had the greatest performance against MIBR last week, but because he was actually the player that was creating space with his dashes, where you're really saying is really through Davies and also through Melzer on the post plants and also on the backside plays of the defense, the passive plays on defense, and then they've been rocks for Crew on this map.
Well, for one, I also agree with Sean. That's the safe thing to do. So agreed, +1. And we talked about Davies a little bit last time as well, right? He plays something else. Now back on the KO, can still put up numbers on that. And Melzer anchoring is something you have to be afraid of. You already see towards that A site. They are going to be pushing here. So no 0 point, though. Usually you get that quick 0 point towards A to figure out if this is going to be a quick hit. Flash over the top. That's going to be heard by Jagama, so they'll look for maybe a bit of a rotate here as the smokes come in.
Look how passively, though, that KJ utility is out there by the generator, really pushing.
Ready for hell.
Kesnet away, not allowing Kesnet to get positioned out into the A site. Now Jagama is close, looking for a timing outside of the door, but it's a drive-by with the Frenzy. Bustio at 1 HP, still trying to run the clock down. Still trying to waste some time, allowing Ethan to move forward. And there's Demon 1 to the rescue somehow with 1 HP! Bustio still puts 4 kills into the round.
I'm nerding out. That was so cool. Van Silly. The whole point was to stop people from getting into hell. It makes the retake so much easier. And with 1 HP, it worked. As soon as you get into hell, you know the site's clear. Who wants to plant when you don't know the site's not clear? Bustio did such a good job delaying here. That I've never seen the objective to just be delay the hell take. But it prevented the entire site take. Really cool stuff from Evil Geniuses.
Even some mistakes there on that utility being thrown by Davies, a little bit too far out, but even the flashes from Ethan were impeccable here to allow EG to flood back on that retake into the site. Not allowing anything to happen for Crew. No force buy coming in now because they have the full eco, just working on the orbs into this round.
Recalling my bot.
And also because they didn't get too many kills on that pistol. So you're just going to dance around the world here, build it into the later rounds. Already Nags potentially even coming to more than the halfway mark on his lockdown. EG's just playing like the information game, really. Recon darts coming out here and there. Knife, there he goes, going to find even more information. But they don't care. Crew doesn't care.
They almost feel better to get hit by the dart, right? That's almost what Melzer is trying to do when you have your Omen sit up deep into A on the attack side. If the Omen gets hit by the 0 point, they're more than happy, right? It means it allows you can play the rest of the map. Now they're pushing all 5 towards B. That recon dart for Klaus is up. Paranoia is not there. This is going to be a tough take for Crew. They're going to have to be all together on this one.
Yeah.
Piggybacking 30
seconds
and
left.
Com's okay to get hit by this knife. He already used all of his utility as is Silva. So he's there to support with his teammates, lining up a few.
Spectre up.
Bustio behind, coming down the staircase. Still a 3 versus 2. Delays coming across.
2 guns.
Plant coming down with 13 seconds left on the clock. Ethan trying to get a timing.
10 seconds left.
Davies watching it. Paranoia comes across, so there's only 1 player to try to shoot, and it's towards the back of the site. And through the smoke, Jagamo gets the kill. And EG comes back for the defuse.
Nice swarm of the site there by EG. Also cheeky, I like the way that Davies has the Sheriff, runs by it, tells Klaus, hey, there's a Spectre on that lane side, you need to grab it. So Crew thinking of everything they could to grab that round. But still, EG swamped the site, come up with another W, and now we go into the bonus round. See where the Guardian might push here with a little bit of recon bolt if we're looking at EG side. They're considering what to do. Actually, all that initiator utility right behind Demon 1 for this round. It might actually come into play. 3-2 split here from Crew. Let's see if this 0 point goes over towards Market if they decide to throw it from Crew as well. There you go. So a little bit of mid play for Crew. They're going to start to feel out the map on this first round to see if they can get the long range fight to EG's low buy.
EG with the low buy was looking for a combination play towards B main, but the split's coming into the B site for Crew. So that forces away The flash opportunity from Ethan out towards B main. But two players are moving forward, trying to fight against Nagzet. The dash in to break the crosshair. Nice shot by Nagzet to get the second one too. And now all of EG looking to fight back, regain control towards middle. Jagama gets long range on the Spectre. Melzer playing the off angle. There's that first kill. And a nice flick onto the second one. This bonus round for EG doesn't turn out to be too fruitful. Ethan looking for an opportunity to move back towards Cat. Win that fight against Melzer. Pick up a rifle there.
Just the eventual will EG push round. I mean, Crew, I don't think we've ever seen him that passive on a first gun round. I'm just waiting now to see where Ethan is. So even from the start, they didn't 0 point right away. So that means the 0 point of Davies is kind of looking for EG to occupy the space of market, maybe even push up a little bit. The beginning of the round, if you just throw the 0 point, everybody's waiting, they're backed up. So you can kind of see the intentions here Crew has. They think EG will be pushing, rotating, and also waiting for that early utility. So that may give us our slower Crew game here from round to round. 2-1 now. As we watch this mid control from Melzer was so strong. EG is one of the things we mentioned about them was they rotate really well, right? They'll find their opponents. If Crew waits for that with just somebody on the wing or for that crossfire, they can get EG on every one of those good rotations. Odin, here for Calm. Let it rip.
And then an attempt to push Demon 1 forward. It's actually going to be contact play more on Demon first.
Yep.
Crew moving forward to break the alarm bot. Slightly being watched here by Bustio. But EG still has a lot of numbers here towards this B site. So a correct read to start. Even a smoke to not allow Kesnet to really get a pick. And there's the late knife, the late information. I like it, at least for EG. You mentioned it here, Riv. They want to get that information much later into the rounds.
Neat little play. They push Kesnet in. Oh, they're causing the chaos, though.
You should run.
Bustio's playing close. Oh, the smoke dissipates, still gets the first kill onto Davies. We're trying to fight back. Kesnet moving in here from the market doors, just trying to get as much kills as we can, and they do!
Demon!
Not even giving a chance for the lockdown to go off. EG pushes in, and they put 3 here on Ascent.
One step ahead and preventing a death that could have come from Market. The push from Kesnet and Davies that got Kesnet and Market was with Davies with the spike when that happened. So I feel like if they had gotten a kill on that Market push, they go right in. Instead, they don't. Rotate Davies back around, and EG's just ready for it. Still holding defense, still with that Odin, and not really revealing that they had it, right? Taking that early space you mentioned from Demon 1 into B main, I think gave them a good idea of how to play the rounds.
Now it's a change of pace. Early knife to get Ethan into wine. Support now out from Demon 1 too. Woo. Fragment into one corner to swing out. Klaus answers back with 2 kills, and Klaus even opens up the A site with a solo play. The fight now towards mid, the timing onto this. Melzer with the TP, so he's gonna look across towards the left. Saw the little shadow at the bottom.
Yeah.
Naxid then at least comes out for the trade. Calm, who's been good with the utility before. A 1 versus 1 on the site. Low HP is Davies. Now swinging behind, going with the Odin. But Davies does the good play to push forward.
Cooling down.
Odin left on the floor too. They don't want that chance to be grabbed back up, and they have no reason for it. So spend the money, they say, evil geniuses. Hunter's Fury up for this round. It could change a lot of how Crew plays. We'll keep an eye on Klaus's positioning. Right now has a spike, so going into sight at this point, it may be dropped though. 3 push here. They're gonna try to get the KO knife and a bit of activation towards A main for evil geniuses. They want to try to get in Crew's face for this trap play eco. They may actually come up. This is where we see Melzer maybe playing with that 0 point.
Jagama with a shrouded step. Did a bit of damage, so forced to fall back. And that was being watched here by Melzer, identifying that early. For Crew. Slowly moving up towards market. It's not too much of a stack happening from EG inside this B site. So we're playing it safe at least, no matter what for Crew. Null command activated for the push in.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Bustio's in the back there. The right click still from Calm. Okay,
What?
we answer back for EG.
Down B.
Even an null command's down. More sure shots coming out. And it's a 4 versus 2. A nice recon.
Last player
Melzer's the
standing.
last player standing. And has
Pretty
been
blunt.
ruthless on this B site. An opportunity to clutch. Players then closing in, and Demon One's the one that moves down.
I could not have made that
Avenging
easier.
his teammate, allowing EG to win the Thrifty.
Just let them try to catch me.
4-2 now. None of those ults really being used on one side. We did see Davies trying to come up with something there. But yeah,
Kill.
One enemy
hunkered
remaining.
down in the site. Evil Geniuses, the frenzy shots coming up huge, and they cooperate with each other to be able to take down this gun round. So a Thrifty, and they don't even start on the correct side of the map here.
Yeah.
So the fact that they had Jagamo push out into that A main, find that it was just Melzer, did alert EG with enough info to get their butts to B for that hold. Holy. Got a few, one more. Oh,
So close.
just the damage.
Damage there onto Klaus. And that was a play that was done before. Last week when all of those shots missed, this time actually connects onto Davies and Klaus. And now for Crew,
I got the
they're
spike.
starting to fall back. Reassess back towards his B site.
And we may see what they did last round. So last round was a version of when they didn't have Davies with the spike and they didn't have to leave Kesnet alone in market. Both Davies and Kesnet went market. It looked like a much cleaner take. Here, they still like the style, but it's going to be Melzer in mid this time. Paranoia is there if they need to clear through market, but it's just him watching that flank. Is they got to prep. They hear the utility from Killjoy here, so they got to get ready to run through this. There's the delay and the lockdown.
Hunter's Fury forcing out the lockdown. Finally breaks it and Bustio moves inside the site, but so much
One
pressure coming in for
enemy
Crew. What a good recon dart coming out from
30
Calm though,
seconds left.
picking so many players, allowing here Ethan to mop up some kills. And this player, Calm, he's been finding his groove here. A much different player from last week to this week.
Yeah, I think last week we got Calm on a bit of an autopilot. You know, a
Yeah.
lot of situations where he was trying to tackle more than one thing, and the right thing he had his back turned to, or he just kept getting pinched and didn't have the right situation. So while other teams made it hard, we definitely saw that Calm was getting flustered. Here, ironing that out, seems like it's much better. And the rest of the team coming together to help. It's just cover each other. There, we had Ethan. More spray kills, two through the smoke. So really, right place, right time is what it comes down to. Timing is right place, right time. It still requires you to be there. And that's what EG's getting here on a few of these plays. As well as the timing on the lockdown. Demon One rushing through to destroy a few of Crew's opportunities. And now they call a timeout, man. Silly. 5-2 here. EG's dominating this first half.
You talked about EG able to understand their opponents quite well. So contact at the early rounds, rotating at the right spots, really pushing Crew into their game plan. And Crew is looking to disrupt that after this timeout. But unfortunately for this round, it is only some shares. It is
Yeah.
an eco coming in for Crew.
That's what I was looking at. It's like maybe do as much damage as you can, or the fast plant round, right? Get the 1,500 across the board to everybody. Or the 300, I should say, to make more sense. And a mid play again from Melzer. 3 towards A.
First stop.
Good call. Demon One is going to hold that. In tree, too. So a quick cat look as he gets pushed off. And that will happen from the top side of heaven here in A. Operator locked in. 3 are there to defend this Crew hit.
There's the up, and that's the Blade Storm.
Oh.
Immediately denied,
Spike
including a
down
spike
A.
dropping through the smoke. As Jagamo's putting that up here towards A main. Those plans already gone. Crew trying to get an opener off the Blade Storm into the site. That was a nice shot by Demon One. Talked about that, trying to pit the duelist versus duelist.
Yeah.
Bot.
And this time changing things around from Jagamo into Demon One. And it works out quite well, at least for now.
Yeah, Demon One didn't seem to have any troubles using that op when we saw him on Icebox. Definitely pushed forward, so activate him here. Why not? Like you said, use that power if you're going to put him on. Almost got double peek there.
Yeah, but
Easy take.
still gives away the position of his teammates, so they both get mowed. EG is looking pretty good on defense so far.
You can trust my bots. Only malfunction that
Trust the
one
bots
time.
and trust the thoughts right now. EG doing well. Bladestorm ready. Null command to shut down Crew if they do want to get into this. And they have to be aware of the lockdown they can receive. Do they play a little further back here? It does look like we're going to get Jagamo pushed up towards the front of this site just to get that one way out. And the push from B main once again.
Placing swarm grenade.
It's not going to be an activation on the Odin, so this is going to be help from Ethan. Maybe a flash, maybe getting in. Switch the operator over, though.
And unfortunately, Demon was trying to clear some space, trying to find some information. A recon dart to find also that information outside of B main. But it still nags it, that sprays inside of that cloudburst and takes down Demon One.
Really cool play. You expect to walk up to a corner and see that Demon One will be holding that, right? Imagine coming at you with a Phantom. Doesn't confuse Crew this time. They take it down, but I like the way the EG switches that up to make Crew think of what they may be seeing. And that would have been a Demon One with an operator. Ethan's still here for the pick.
Big knife. Hands on the info, null command 2 to not allow any of that utility to come out early. As he spotted all of the Crew players looking for a B hit. And after this, you could definitely see Crew waiting for the lockdown to happen. As it comes down, a fragment gets thrown. Winning for a timing here as Calm has a recon dart available if needed. While we push towards the site. There's that recon dart going out. No sprays yet. There it is. Calm getting the op kill.
What?
With the recon. Counter paranoia on the attack for Crew, allowing for them to move inside this B site for a plant. Time for EG to play the retake.
With an operator, this is not going to be easy. 2 shock darts to file in here. Jagamo getting ready for the paranoia.
Exactly. You need to get Jagamo into place right now. Paranoia's already being thrown towards the sidewalk. Blinds a few, playing close range. Down at the bottom of the staircase for Crew. Delays off utility on the attack. EG now finally coming in. 1-for-1. But finally, it's a great hold by Crew. Calm.
That's op.
Save it. Brown's going to come in for the attack.
Yeah.
Pack the stats, get some kills, make it expensive on the exits. There's a second one. But it is not going to connect. Melzer was faster and Crew. But 3 on the attack now.
Same strat. Really just kind of out fighting at this point. I think Crew is left to that point where they're breaking it down to fundamentals. Like you said, EG's reading the map, so they're not faking EG out. They have to be together. These little 1v1 plays we saw Kesnet trying to produce on Pearl, much more help and assistance here to activate Kesnet because EG is coming up with those fights. Operator towards mid. Quick flash, tiles control, my gosh. Just completely zeroing out if anything could be tiles. And we'll see how EG rotates off of this to get back in a position. A big lean from Ethan can come in for either way, but this A hit. Paranoia right up to tree. We could see the hit here. Oh, Paranoia towards Jenny.
Just before the smoke blooms, Demon One gets that pick up to Kesnet, so no dash to create space. Crew still looking to fight up here and maybe even fall back. But the thing is, beginning of this round, they tried to do a recon dart right into the spot to break the alarm bot, and they missed it. So this will give an opportunity here for EG to get in for that information and move in. And there it is. Ethan pushing forward inside the smoke. Whoa. Demon One on the top from spawn. Getting a dagger in the head of Naxit.
Everybody's giving out hugs.
Right into that smoke. But in the end, still a plant comes down for Crew. 2-player advantage as Melzer's looking for the play. Oh my God, is catching too much.
Player standing. One
as
enemy
Davies
remaining.
answers back to make it a 1 versus 1.
All right, Demon One.
What are you made of? Bladestorm out, 33 HP. Davies playing towards that generator. Double smoke down! As Davey gets the kill. The hero play by Melzer pushing towards the spawn. catching EG, standing up for the util for the retake. That's gotta hurt.
Super smart. We just praised EG for their kind of step ahead timing, being able to get by, or you see Jagama rushing through utility as well as the other teammates just to get that positioning. But Crew here with the aggressive W once again. And that was gonna be a tough one. One Vandal shot would have done it at 33 HP. And now 6-4. EG calling the timeout. A lot of these rounds, maybe one defuse there, right? As EG, we had to get back in, but this has just been a brutal battle of 5K, 5 kills going down to win the round.
Definitely, it comes down to Elise to start things off because it looked really good for EG on how they wanted to push forward against Crew's executions. But now you see that opportunity. What we talked about before. Who were those two players that actually won that 2 versus 3?
Yeah.
It's that Davies, Melzer on a smoke, on a KO. You can't let these guys get into the site and set up because Crew looks very strong here on the pulse plants.
And they need that to happen, though. Kesnet is currently with a goose egg at the bottom. And that means the rest of the team has to pick it up, which they have done here.
And we mentioned that, right? It's just Kesnet. Unfortunately, his role is really to try to dash in and let the rest do the work.
That's the Ascent play. If you can jet on Ascent, people are still happy. If you're going down, it provides and facilitates everybody else to come in.
Yeah.
Get those initiator kills. Let's see. Kesnet on that left, going towards tiles this time. Won't be meeting with Demon, but they are on the same map. Or side of the map, I should say. Everybody's on the same map. Go figure. There's that market. So both rounds, they've gone market here, Van Silly. That map control for Crew has led to a B take and B victory. Here, they still stay towards A, and they need to take A main control for this to really work. This is going to be tough.
So fighting for B. Demon 1 pushing forward. Got tagged a bit.
There it is.
Pulling the extremity on the other side for EG. Melzer opens it up to Jagamo. Still up to Ethan, alone in the site, closing the door. Crew doesn't want to take over the A site, even if they had the player's advantage. The first kill in that side, falling back towards mid. There's a gap in that smoke. Finally, Bustio's gonna walk in. Demon 1 with the support. Oh my gosh. That's just too clean. Spike is now down out in the open. Delays coming out from the Nanoswarm on defense. Demon 1 rotated across towards the B site. And is sitting up here. A peek on from the exit. Good luck, Melzer. 4 versus 1.
Hiding it. I feel like
30 seconds left.
During the map, between maps, everybody was outside talking on EG, and they're like, Jagama, how do you do that? Lay down the cove and go in and fight. And he's like, easy. Put it down and run in. Everybody from EG is doing that now. If there's a smoke, EG runs into it. We've seen multiple kills already come up. Just like I said the other round, everybody's giving out
10
hugs.
seconds
These
left.
fights are all happening within arm's reach that we've been seeing here on these site takes, on these mid takes.
Maybe you're learning a little bit from their C9 game when it was always Zelsis inside of their smokes they were throwing out on their executions.
Just right up in their face. Even if the
Last
space is
round
taken,
in the
they're
half.
ready to defend it. 7-4. Operator still there for Demon as they continue to switch hands it goes into. Calm or Demon, depending on how hard they want to play the round. And here, Bustio in. The off shot then from Demon. Just instantly confusing Davies, and another kill for Bustio to walk right through. It's just making these situations so confusing. You can rightly see that Crew is almost confused when this is happening. They're like, we're not expecting EG to do any of this.
Going out.
And it's also the little things right now of how they're working towards this B along here for EG. They always have combinations of breaking that turret out towards the B site, which always puts Nagzit in a tough situation to not allow for him to get late lurks into B. So he's pretty much on an island every single time and can't really assist his teammates. Well, for Crew, at least for this round, they're looking to move into the tree. And that's where Bustio set up.
That util looks like it's going to hurt a lot. That's going to have to be a dash in. Nagzit gets hit. Do they activate on the other side? All the delay is still there. Another hit. Oh, no, that's a shock dart that clears it.
Yeah, well done here. Null command then coming out. Strano getting the spray onto Klaus. So more players are falling down for Crew, trying to move inside this A site. Kesset moving up, trying to drive by. He's looking for blood. Catches Demon 1 off guard. At least Jagamo's there to save him. 4 versus 2 with the spike planted into the A site. No paranoias available. Triple up on Garden. Melzer once again looking for the play. Shark Dart to push him out. Lockdown in. And the last one coming through. Davies gets stopped by Ethan. Lockdown was used, but it doesn't matter. Last round of the half. And it's EG to take the lead into 4.
What a positive first half for Evil Geniuses. Seeing this team come together and win rounds is exactly what you wanted. This could be a game where it's 1v1 on each round and you're really still not sure. But Evil Geniuses does seem to be finding some footing and synergy with this composition. And it's up to Crew now to be coming back on a second half. Let's see what the desk has to say about that.
Thank you so much, Riv. It's an 8-4 first half here for Evil Geniuses. Damn, they look good. Damn, they look good. And let's talk about how they're getting it done, because it was all about Jagama on that last map. But this time around, we're getting a look at Bustio. We're getting a look at Demon One stepping up in a big way for the team.
I mean, we were talking a lot about Demon One's Jet, and we are pleasantly surprised. I mean, Bustio and Demon One here both popping off, both holding it down. I mean, Bustio just did such a good job in general on that Killjoy roll, holding down sites, getting multi-frags. Look at this, even getting Sheriffs and backside, and this round was insane, where they literally ended the round in 10 seconds as that Killjoy lockdown went down. That was an insane round, and obviously we can kind of see the Jet dip
Sean, you
right
said
here.
Ascent fundamentals comes down to how you activate your Jet player.
Yeah.
You don't need a more stark contrast than this stat screen right here.
No, he got that 1 kill. Kesna got that 1 kill right at the finish line.
In a losing round.
In a losing round, yeah. So that was an abysmal half by Kesna. I've never seen him have a performance like that. But the youngster, Demon One, he was just constantly bringing the aggression, always bringing it at B. But Bustio, you mentioned him on the Killjoy, was nanoing over the wall to break the Killjoy turret, which then put Nags on the back foot. He was always panicked holding that B push.
We're seeing some brilliance here out of Evil Geniuses on the second map, Ascent. They're really pushing Crew as far as they possibly can. The question is, can they get it over the line? They move to the attacking side of the map for Crew. They're gonna have to put up something magical on the back half to get it done. 15 seconds until the players themselves load back into the server to do battle. Will Evil Geniuses get their first overall series dub today, and will they do it in 2-map fashion? That's the question we're about to answer as we head back to our casters to get the series back underway.
And the same question comes in for Crew. Can they actually get their first victory here for the VCT's Americas? But first, they have to win the defender half and also win a 3rd map. So things are looking pretty good for EG so far.
All right, so who can shoot through the most smokes this time? That's true. That's the question.
Stand by to get some.
That's the question.
That's the meta today.
Watching here.
Watching here. Slow push up here. Waiting for a 0 point to come out of Davies right now. EG looking to stay super silent and use the subterfuge. Get themselves into sight. Bustio is more than happy to also not show anything. So it's kind of like read this first play by Crew. Are they pushing? Did they use util? But all quiet. All quiet.
It's definitely leaning towards the A site to start. There's that dash to come through. No support. No smokes to block the vision of EG moving in. So an open sight and a super late alert from Bustio with the Sheriff.
Does he go through mid or right up to Cat here? 3-2 split. They're not deciding just yet. They got to clear the flanks before they go in.
Bustio is watching it from the B lane, but it's the rest moving forward. And Kesnet actually gets the first blood into this round. Recon out for the defenders. Double stack down towards hell from Ethan and Jagamo as Davies finally jumps down with teammates. Support coming through. Klaus comes in with a frenzy. Jagamo cannot fight back. Only good for one. Recon now comes in. Now that it gets broken. Nice shots coming out from both players of EG out towards A main. Such low HP, but they win the 2 versus 3.
What a good plant, too. Honestly, I feel like having it towards Dice there just gives you a little bit more room to be flexing out. You don't have to be stuck in wine. So nicely done by Com and Bustio there. Knowing the angle, knowing the play, and trading off each other. Smiles all around. Potter very happy. EG able to grab the pistol rounds here, which really helps catapult them forward, Vans.
Her reactions are amazing. I just love it.
Even when her team gets taken down, you can see her being
Like, nice
excited.
try, nice
Just
try.
enjoying the game overall, but obviously enjoying it more when EG is doing the winning. Quick 0 point. We expected that first round.
The amount of shorties.
No, why not? I mean, if you've been watching Som lately, you know it works.
Saw that Klaus drop one earlier on, so he's playing towards the staircase with the classic, playing left and right
And a
inside the
shorty.
site. Exactly. Oh, okay. That's a second first blood into the second half for Kesnet. Really showing his stride here on this half.
Missed the
Showing his
dart.
value as well. It's a half day buy now for EG as well. 3 Bulldogs left, 1 Spectre.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the weapon that they lost was only a Sheriff, but it's going to be quiet here.
45 seconds. So do they run into a paranoia? No, they just have Melzer's going to be close up if they decide to do this. Mid could be taken. That would be really great information for Kesnet. He's listening for cat audio cues, and everybody actually at A is pushed up for an audio cue here, and we might see them back up once they hear it. Here we go.
Left.
Actually, I think it's moving forward because of these shorties. Melzer's just around the corner, playing anti-flash first, but still gets hit by it and still gets a kill onto Jagamo.
All the way through, all the way through. He
Picks
goes
up a
in.
Bulldog, though, running back inside the smoke. Ethan's trying to trade back, but Melzer with the Bulldog still holds a main. Suddenly becomes an advantage for Crew for the retake. Both players of EG forced to play now towards Hell. Training across. Mini Bogdan's Law.
Player standing.
As Kesset comes in with the Bulldog.
Enemy down.
Kong trying to clutch it. The 2 versus 1. Here's the first footstep.
Out.
There's the turret. Shock dart onto the spike. Damage onto Klaus. And then Nagshead waiting above here with the shorty. It's a 30 round from Crew to answer here.
And on that one, you pat Melzer on the back. That little cat and mouse game in the smoke, absolutely turning EG for a loop. Didn't even know that Melzer made it through to a gun until just a little too late. And he's able to take out 2 in that situation, crippling Evil Genius's sight take. Really cheeky stuff to be played. You're right, moving forward. I thought they would have backed up for a moment to move forward, but it was only W, Van Silly. What else does Crew know? What else do they know? Really nicely done there to play that one aggressive. Looks like they get the play towards
Placing
B.
swarm grenade out.
Yeah, they know
Pretty push, yeah.
that they know that EG's on an eco at this round.
Yeah.
Bustio trying to move in with the Guardian. Players working to get her at least to break the turret at the beginning of this round for EG. Share shots trying to do some damage, and only Bustio's received that damage so far. But all of them are grouped up. Ooh, okay, that's how you work that Guardian. Klaus falls early. That would allow now EG to just dash into the site. Kesset just trying to spray. Connects onto 1 at least.
Yeah.
Nanosaur splits out the attack. Nagshead playing inside. But EG are just a death ball of trades. Plant comes down. Bustio waiting towards Log, avoids the 0 point. Footsteps close. Oh no, the body shot onto 1. Couldn't connect onto the second.
Bustio.
Hunter's Fury out on the attack. But no damage. Now just a spray. Demon gets him blinded. Kesset now swings back on a 1 versus 1. No revenge. No revenge from Calm. A great round from Kesset. A 4K into here. As it comes in for the defuse, and Crew are looking good here on the defense.
Wow, the patience from Kesnet there, knowing Calm might try to make a play and does so to a bit of a detriment. What a round. I thought Crew was making a mistake going before Melzer got there, not having paranoia, not being ready. And wow, Calm just forced into a pretty big mistake there, but can't take that away from Kesnet. Been looking for the activation, been looking for the kills. We said Kesnet was at 0. Now Kesnet's 8 and 13, so those came in quick for the Jet player.
Only had that 1, as Sean mentioned, at the tail end of that
Yeah.
of the first half, where even Crew lost that round. And players had to come up huge here on the defense. And Kesnet is slowly finding his groove, and this is where it's going to get dangerous.
Yeah, this is getting funky right here in mid.
Oh, Smoke dissipates.
Wait, they
Demon
chase?
looking for the
They
chase. Gets the ping there onto Kesnet, down to low HP, no dash away. Fragment, everything's being used to just try to get him down. But Kesnet manages to get away, and there's no more daggers left but this one here in the hands of Demon 1. Thankfully, though, there's still rifles behind that to support. Davies is just looking for the time and a jiggle peek to get a knife here onto Cat. At least now decides to use it for information.
Here.
Pulls back a rotate from Klaus into watching the spawn. As Kesnet is playing the off angle.
Jagamo getting ready for a paranoia.
Crew definitely okay, just waiting to clock out. And Ethan's wide swings, no daggers coming in. It's Kesnet once again.
Oh my gosh.
3 into the round.
remaining.
The third first blood in the half. Now you got to save. There's only 20 seconds left. Nothing really you could do. Unless you want to get more from bonus rounds, but he opts to actually save his rifle
10
in the end, and
seconds
Kesnet
left.
is chasing after him, already towards spawn.
Really well played in the information game there. As soon as Davies hits the 0 point, taking an aggressive position, knowing that time can be had to really throw EG off. And I feel like there's not enough being identified before we're getting these paranoias coming through. I mean, that one obviously was going towards tree to hit anybody waiting. They didn't know Kesnet was going to be playing up close. But these paranoias haven't really been acted on well. They're not hitting people. The follow-up isn't there. It seems like both teams just have a surplus of utility ready to shut down that follow-up. And then the team is left kind of going in dry, trying to take that space. Crew absolutely punishes EG for it. And we see the setup again towards long. They try to gain control with Davies, but it's going to be that B play coming in now. A bit of pressure, the dash in from Demon 1.
Ooh, and an opener. Oh, gosh. No answers back. Dropping down towards the site. Nagset was playing passively towards the back of Boathouse. Nagset with a second one.
Down B.
There's really nothing left here for EG. It was his half buy with the spike now down out in the open. Calm separated from his teammate. At least Jagamo is able to pick up a Phantom.
Cover going
There's a
out.
big smoke that could happen. Picking up the spike. Could TP away, but not after that. Shock dart to dash in.
Wow.
And Kesnet, as much as he's getting first blood, he's doing a good job creating space for his teammates to at least avenge him. And Crew's only 1 round away from tying up the game. Is this gonna be a flip now that EG calls a timeout? A flip of what we just saw on Pearl before, where both of the teams are so good on attack.
Yeah.
This time it's both teams looking really good here on the defense.
It's going to come down, like, last time we said, too, it came down to a lot of the timing, the smoke plays, right? Rushing in, Jagamo going into the coves, and everybody else making plays. So you almost don't know. It comes to, and not to a way like we don't know what's going to happen, but they both are figuring each other's strategies out. Whether or not Kesnet comes up and around is going to be an operator actually coming into play here. So if EG can identify that, it switches the round. It's anybody's coming out to make those timing plays right now. A few change up from EG within the rounds to kind of source out where Crew is. We saw a lot of mid play there to figure out if they can get space, pull back, work maybe off the alarm bot strategy, and the fundamentals of destroying util first before hitting a site. But the A-hole, Davies pushing up. Crew's just been getting so much info that's paying off on EG.
Yeah. For EG's end, though, we could definitely see that they're trying to fight against Kesnet earlier on.
Yeah.
Trying to keep that econ low, not allowing this operator to come into his hands. But now it will. So this is going to change the pace a little bit here for Crew as well. Is Kesnet going to start playing a little bit more aggressively? That might catch EG off guard when they were the first ones that were setting the pace into the rounds. Using that utility to gain that space. But that could definitely fumble this time around.
Quick tech pause coming out. Just looking at a scoreboard we have in front of us. To say it, Demon 1, 17-10 on top. Really feeling like he can come into his own in a game like this, especially second map, more pressure even on in that situation. And we see the op being still traded around between the team of EG, Bustio, and Demon, so they still get that flexibility. I mean, Comms even grabbed it for a round 2 when they wanted to go forward, so still. It doesn't seem like EG's lost the flexibility they had. It's the question of if the team works together, right? It's been the question. First win is just on the horizon, 4 rounds away, and they have that answer for us.
Yeah. And Jagamo switching away from that role from a jet over to the smokes.
Yeah.
So taking that main role now, we've seen it a bit from a couple of maps where he started pivoting towards the harbor, this time onto the Omen. Yeah, maybe not the best numbers in terms of the fragging department, but at least with 8 assists so far has been supporting the team, allowing players like Demon 1 to really get those forward positions, to really help the teams get the retakes that showed such a strong defense. And you mentioned Demon 1. At 17, yes, very comfortable. Second time that he's on the stage.
Yeah.
Bustio's there just behind him as that IGL. But we have to continue that storyline of Kesnet. 1 and what, 8 or something like that? This time 13 and 14. Just popping off on these first bloods.
And it's been a difference. You can see it in the first bloods, 0 and 4 in that first half.
Yeah.
So just being the first deaths, 3 and 4 now, 3 first kills to those 4 first deaths. So stop the dying started the first initiation. So that's what you want to see, especially out of Kesnet. You can't have your duelist even feeling down in these games when that's the one you need to call upon. See where they go for this. 3-2 on the split. Usually in this mode, they end up mid and they end going towards B. We do see the spike hanging out towards A right now on Ethan's back.
Let's get this done.
Let's get it done. A peek out. This operator's going to be on Cat. Let's see if they can get a tile shot here for Kesnet.
It's for early info anyways.
0-0, yeah.
So good job for EG. They know now that Kesnet was looking for that aggressive peek. So now guessing, was it an operator or not? Kesnet rotating over now towards the back of mid. When we're trying to pressure towards this mid take, breaking that alarm bot for EG. Once again, more utility to push this opera away.
Exactly. Really smart stuff so far from EG. You want to know where it is first, right? They may not even know it's there first, but now
they heard
it. Rings out across mid on Ascent. And yeah, they're just leaving Demon 1 here alone. Maybe a flash will come over his shoulder, but a flank into B, a hit towards mid and towards A. EG's everywhere.
Melzer, though, continuing to be an anchor on the A side. This time pushed all the way up forward towards Wine. 4 players now rotating back towards the B side. That's where Kesnet is with the Blade Storm. Nagzet towards the back of the site once again. Just being a nuisance. There's no way you could stop Nagzet in the back of the site.
Crew ties it. Crew ties it up in a round where EG was searching, trying to find that op. How long were they creeping up? But Crew was giving absolutely nothing up. Not a position, nada. And then they find, EG finds every member setting up a defense inside the site when they get in. That's a tough take. Nagzat with great shots there around the team. They get that Odin back into play. I don't think they wanted to or had to grab it, so easy peasy. Operator still dead. That's what matters for the side of Crew. EG over towards B this round.
Swarm grenade out.
A delay right away. So Crew actually expecting a little bit of a push here from EG to gain that space. You always have to respect that early utility.
Potentially even looking to explode. Johnny will had that paranoia ready. A couple of smokes being ready too. There's a nanostorm. So the nanostorm being thrown and it gets shut off. Could be the call right here to initiate right after. Get behind that, break that turret. 2 players playing on the sidewalk for Crew. Recon dart and a flash. Nice little combination for a quick hit towards B. An ult for information, allowing the dash to come in and hit the switch. Aljo not from Klaus, but there's still 2 players in the back of the B side and have been strong on his hold for Crew. 45 seconds left. As there once again, another first blood for Kesnet.
Kesnet
tagging into a second one onto Demon 1. Oof, almost. It's wallbang dinked down to 4 HP.
5v3.
But you think you gain some space here for EG. We forget those 2 players in the back. Nice flash on Nagzet to come out. The wall bang with the drive-by. It's all up to Bustio. Guardian denied.
Cooling down.
Crew now fighting back and they take the lead on Ascent.
I say no B for you, EG. Ultimates here to be used on this round that will help take and retake the site with that lockdown. But I think Kesnet is going to be priority one here. Where is Kesnet? Either how can you break the distance and get in his face right away, or how can you get into a site and push up, press W, make sure you're in heaven so there's no retake capability for the side of Crew. They haven't been doing anything too big on their defensive side. The 0 points towards long. One way goes out here again. Very common strategy to try to take down A control. Just have a quick TP over from Jagama.
Oh my, that's gonna hurt a lot. The flash support out from Davies and then a Hunter's Fury.
Bot coming back.
Allowing Crew to take the player advantage and also doing some damage onto Demon. Even Melzer gets a position into Wine. EG just looking to play the contact and finally to stop Kesnet with the operator, but Melzer still in Wine. Just tasting these kills.
You should run.
Alarm bot to create some space. An offensive lockdown too.
Yeah, this is a weird one. They're going to be able to hold it though. You expect that to be the defenders. Bustio now in tree alone.
Still loses it against Klaus. Denied towards the back of the site. Detained as finally EG take down Melzer. The last two players being Ethan and Calm moving inside this A site. Owl Drone coming out too. And now it's going to get difficult. Forced to play outside of the site is Ethan and Calm.
Wow.
Was only good for one.
EG's low buy next round should be, and even with both pistols here, Crew says we're going to do it mid-game to late game. You can have the pistols, we'll take the rounds, and they have done such a great job at breaking Evil Genius's defense. And on that one, EG had, what, 3 people who were only able to defend the site, and the way they had to take the site left them scattered for the post plant. So Crew doing a really nice job of dismantling these strategies EG's using to get to the site to make the retakes easier. Look at that. 7 rounds in a row for Crew here.
Yeah.
That's crazy, Van Silly.
EG only getting pistol and the economy being broken by the plays of Melzer on that second round.
Yeah.
With the Shorty and Bulldog. And it's been difficult for EG ever since.
Turret down, orb grab for shock darts.
Get out of my way.
Didn't even hit. Oh, a little hit. Okay.
Love tap.
A little love tap.
Static shock.
Indeed, indeed. Spike to be picked up.
Here.
They rotate all the way back over. So it seems like they'll give up mid on this one and just try to deathball it in once again. B has been solid for Crew. They're hardly even losing any members when these sites get taken. Just a little bit. Maybe a hair puff on Demon 1 there. I'm not sure if he did see too much. Great defense for Crew there. This is on EG to be able to break all of this. 5v5 take coming in.
The 0 point actually didn't suppress any players. The dash miss though from Demon 1. Nanoswarm that comes out. Nice little ping. Allowing Demon 1 to get the opener into the B site. Looking for this kill onto Klaus. Gets stopped by the 0 point. Klaus still in the back. The util is too good here for Klaus and the rest of Crew.
Oh, wow.
The recon dart pinged so many players, and Crew is pushing this to a third map.
Match point.
Demon 1, the stub of the toe. It does not allow the strat to go through. 8 rounds now for Crew. They look to just sweep this one after a thrifty. And Cloud9 seemingly no answer right now. They're back onto a bye. It's focused towards A. I'm not sure. Their attacks have just been lackluster, Van Silly. Really not able to find the rounds or positioning that they can to get in here.
It's definitely a steep hill to climb. So far away from ults. Their last buy, even if they win a round, losing a couple of players, it's still going to be scrappy in terms of buys. So very important for EG now to try to get the round in. All 5 alive would be great, of course. But They're looking for a split into the A site. Davies playing the anti-flash first, and Demon One gets a nice opener. Paranoia to blind and push the defenders back into the A site for Crew. So EG has gained the space inside of A. Kesnet playing the double stack with Melzer out towards Hell, and Demon One gets a second opener into the round. Door now being opened. We want all 5 to be alive, but not yet. Kesnet has something to say, but so does EG.
Yeah, Jagama with the jump through, able to capitalize there, and that was an EG learning round, right? The last time Davies basically shut down the entire round by playing in that position by the planter at tree. Demon One was ready for it right away.
It was actually, Kesnet playing there in that flower pots.
Yeah. So it wasn't Davies, sorry. But yeah, switching it up, watching that position, and now really playing to what they've seen from Crew. Bladestorm, Hunter's Fury there, so we can see Crew play very safe on this round to deny the plant or get the post plant that they want when they retake the site. Jump out. Would have been safe, unfortunate. But I don't think too much is given up from that.
Now this is all a ruse here while Kong is setting up this Aldrone towards mid. All of EG are being set up towards the A side. So that single smoke that went out towards A, and also allowing for the alarm bot to actually hit Calm. EG is just looking for a really late hit towards this A site. Noise being made here from Bustio as well. Trying to sell a mid to B split. Especially with the knife that just went up. Clears out towards Wine now. And there's that call finally for EG to move in.
Paranoia Jenny.
Melzer's in the back of that side of Hell. Hunter's Fury out on the defense. Jagamo still opens up first. Demon One minute on the top of the generator as a flash comes out from Davies.
30 seconds
The
left.
smoke does not allow for him to push forward. Plant will come down for Evil Geniuses as they have a 2-player advantage. Defensive post plant utility now set up here for EG. And it's a turret to trade off on Demon One's death. But Bustio lines up the last 2 trying to come out towards Heavens. And EG are 1 round away of pushing this into the extra innings. Well, the Econ's still looking pretty good here for Crew.
It is. They'll be able to buy. But Coach has something to say about this one, Van Silly. Owner going to figure out what the deal is, how we're working this. And I don't... At this point, it comes down to full teamwork. Control. No ultimates really ready to be grabbed on either side. Jagamo can go for from the shadows, but we don't really see that turning the round on its head. So this one, Crew has been playing up towards mid. They get their cat control, and we've seen Davies over at A. They don't change up too much. I feel like this is on Evil Geniuses. If they're going to play mid, Demon One gets the push again. This one, I think, is pulling the teams. Both of them are kind of pulling their hair out, trying to figure out what to do next, because it's just... I feel like once EG gets into a site, they're swarmed by Crew, right? They almost don't like the situation they have once they get in. It's hard to clear Crew out of a site. That's a good point. That's the good point right there. It's really hard to clear Crew out of a site, so getting the spike down just becomes almost impossible.
Well, the last attempt now from Crew of trying to bring this into a 3rd map. No operators coming out into this round for Kesnet. Well, they definitely had the money for it. But they're also really looking for this pressure on mid. Potentially even trying to walk out, trying to get a B-link, stopping Calm. He's currently working towards the B-link. And EG are about to throw an early knife here towards the market. Early Aldrone, the ping onto 1, but there's still the crossfire set up towards Kenchbench.
Revealing area.
Recon dart. As it gets shot off, it pings a few.
Got him.
That's the call potentially here for EG to hit towards the A site.
In they go. Mollies. The delay, though. They have to clear this.
Just by running through it off the alarm bot, but all of Crew is already here towards the A site. Recon dart, nanostorm kill onto Ethan. Paranoia to flood back into the site. Crew is looking to fight right away. Spike has fallen. Players are stuck under Hell. Demon One cannot do anything, as it's instantly up to Calm on a 4 versus 1. Spike down out in the open. And there is Naxit to help Crew
Defenders
to
win.
push this into the third map here on Fracture.
Just chaos in that round, man. Silly, like, where's the plan? Why does Spike go hell? This is the kind of stuff why I said you just don't know how the round's gonna go. That is not a round we saw at all from EG. They look scattered. Crew also, I felt like the utility was there, but where's the dice plant, right? The Crew makes these sites feel chaos. They scare, right? You don't think you can plan even though there might be a chance. Like I said, it's hard to plan against these boys.
And that's it. That's Crew making you think that you have gained that space, right? Because you had 3 players on mid, a recon pings 2, and they all instantly rotate for a flood, opening the floodgates back into the A site and just owning EG on that take. The attempt of a take that was denied. That's what we're looking for from Crew, but that's also what we're looking for from Kesnet, who really stepped up to the plate here on that second half.
From what, 0-9-1-8 to 18-18. It helped because Bustio and Demon are both on the top of this scoreboard at 22 and 17 apiece. So you have 2 huge fraggers for EG, the rest of the team coming in. This was a big team effort by Crew to pull us to a third map. Time for a quick break now. When we return, the analyst desk will get us ready for map 3.